In the wake of The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 6, it's become clear that the most controversial decision in The Mandalorian may have been the right move all along. The first live-action Star Wars TV show could seem to do no wrong during its first 2 seasons, as it completely revolutionized the franchise forever, and opened the gates for every live-action Star Wars show we've gotten ever since. After the bittersweet Season 2 finale, however, there was a stumble. Din Djarin and Grogu, who had been emotionally separated at the end of The Mandalorian Season 2, were quickly reunited in the spin-off series The Book of Boba Fett. The move to give Din Djarin a large chunk of Boba Fett's story was, on its own, a controversial move, but criticism increased when the iconic father-son duo had their reunion prior to the events of The Mandalorian Season 3. To this day, many fans still credit this decision for Season 3's lackluster story and reception. The motivation for this decision came from concerns that Din Djarin and Grogu being separated in The Mandalorian Season 3 would cause the new installment to perform poorly, as their relationship is undoubtedly the heartbeat of the entire show. While this did have its repercussions on the greater story, The Last of Us Season 2, which also stars Din Djarin actor Pedro Pascal, seems to be proving that Star Wars' decision to reunite them might have truly been the right one. The Last of Us isn't the same after Joel Miller's death. Audiences are losing interest without Joel and Ellie together. The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2, Through the Valley, portrayed the iconic yet gut-wrenching death of Joel Miller, Pascal's character who takes on a role similar to that of Din Djarin in The Mandalorian. Despite being adapted from a video game, and thus having the freedom to potentially divert away from this decision to kill him, the story of The Last of Us depends too much on Joel's death, and so the TV show went all in on it. The reception to The Last of Us post Joel's death, however, makes it clear that the show isn't the same without him. This isn't just because of Joel's character himself, it's because the relationship between Joel and Ellie is no longer in the spotlight the way it was in Season 1. The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 6, The Price, has now proven that this is certainly the case. The episode goes back in time to fill in essential pieces of Joel and Ellie's story between Seasons 1 and 2, marking what will no doubt be Pascal's last full episode of the series. Its acclaim from audiences and critics alike, rising significantly higher than in past weeks, proves that it's this specific relationship that made Season 1 such a success, and now, Season 2 is suffering without it. Din Djarin and Grogu are the heart of The Mandalorian like Joel and Ellie. Their relationship keeps the story alive. It's undoubtedly the truth that the relationship between Din Djarin and Grogu is what helped to make The Mandalorian such a success in the first place. It's very similar to The Last of Us in that manner, and is likely the reason why Pascal was ultimately chosen for the role of Joel Miller in the first place. This makes it easy to draw parallels between the two, which means the same thing that's currently true of The Last of Us Season 2 would have been true of The Mandalorian Season 3. Of course, there are nuances to this as well. There's a difference between the death of Joel in The Last of Us and the separation between Din and Grogu in The Mandalorian. Joel's death is permanent, which greatly alters the outlook on the future of the show and its story. Din and Grogu's separation, however, always felt temporary. There was no true permanence that could keep them from being together again. Regardless, it's clear that the absence of a present relationship between the two characters still takes a toll on the show's reception. Since we never fully explored a drawn-out separation between Din Djarin and Grogu that leads to an ultimate reunion, we can never truly say how much it would have affected The Mandalorian Season 3, but it still would not have been the same as Seasons 1 and 2, and that alone proves why this decision was made. Star Wars may have actually made the right decision for Season 3. The show thrives with this duo sticking together. Seeing how the reception to The Last of Us Season 2 has been so far, it's understandable why Star Wars wanted to bring Din and Grogu back together so quickly, and they may have been right to go that route. As stated above, the dynamic of Season 3 would have been totally different with these two characters apart. Some may have liked that, but there would certainly be those who didn't, especially if the story wasn't visiting Grogu as much as Din Djarin. As someone who also wanted to see Din and Grogu separated for longer in The Mandalorian Season 3, I'm starting to understand and respect the decision to reunite them prior to the new installment, even if I still disagree with it. From a business standpoint, it would have been a big gamble to risk the heartbeat of the show by keeping these two characters apart. I would have loved to see a version of The Mandalorian where the separation was longer, but after The Last of Us Season 2, I at least understand this choice.